Hello guys and welcome back. In this video I want to talk to you a bit about finding good flipping opportunities on Craigslist specifically, but this exact same method applies to Gumtree and Kijiji as well, so there's no difference at all. I just like to use Craigslist because it's to be honest where I focused more. So first things first, if you don't know what a flipping opportunity is, or, that's what I call it, it's, finding something that's being sold at below its market price and being able to sell it straight away. So you're flipping it to someone else, you're not holding it, you don't need to have a stock or anything like that. You can basically just buy it and sell it straight away and profit immediately. So that's a flip. Ideally, you can find someone to buy it before you even sell it. Someone to buy it from you before you buy it from the person as well. One of the best ways to do that is to find dealers because they will happily buy whatever you have. All right, I'm going to show you the example of iPhones because they're really hot. There's a huge market out there right now, and I normally say not to copy me if I'm giving a specific example, but this is the one case where I'd say some of you go for it because the market's really, really big. It would take a lot of people to be able to saturate this particular method. So if you guys want to go for it, seriously, go for it. There's millions and millions of dollars per year in this market. Yeah, it's a huge market. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll just search for iPhone 6. We're going to be really specific here and search for an iPhone 6 for sale in the US. We'll just hit search. Now the reason I'm going for iPhone 6s is just because they're the latest one. There's more profit margin on them if you can find one that's cheap enough. The market still exists for 5s, 5Ss, 4Ss, 5Cs, 4s, all of the other ones as well. The same thing exists for Android phones as well, so think a little bit outside the box there. There's a huge, huge, huge market. So let's see, we'll pull that up. I'll just bear with me. I'm just gonna jump over to one of the dealer sites I found. So here's what I did. Right, I was looking around on Craigslist, and this is how I kind of ran into this. I was looking around on Craigslist, and I somehow came across someone selling an iPhone that seemed like it was just a bit, it was a bit cheap. It seemed like you'd be able to buy it and sell it on straight away and turn a healthy profit. And so I wondered to myself if there would be any dealers around who would want to buy them. And I found that there are a bunch of dealers on Craigslist, but there are also a few websites that look like they're a bit easier to deal with because they send you a box and then you send them the phone, in the box, and it's all prepaid, and they just kind of look after it for you. They standardize their pricing. It's all nice and easy. So this is the site here that I was looking at. I'll just make it easier to fit in the screen. There's a few other guys like these as well, and I'm in no way affiliated with them. I don't get any money from these guys for telling you about them or anything like that. They'll just be good if you want to pursue this method. So, you can just go through and select, the status of your phone. We'll have a look at the the current price today for a new 16 gig unlocked iPhone 6 with the box because it's new. Okay, so 450, and for a 128, 500. Okay, and the 6 Plus will be a bit more than that. Whoops, 6 Plus. New. New isn't actually new, by the way. It just says, if you can see that pop up there, it says looks like new, hardly noticeable scratches or wear, no cracks or dents, 100% functional. So we're not talking about brand new. We're talking about just, it's in really good nick. So we'll just see what the price difference is to go to a 6 Plus, and that way we know what to watch out for. Okay, so what we can tell from here is that if we find an unlocked iPhone 6 for less than $450, or an unlocked iPhone 6 Plus for less than 500, we can turn a profit straight away. We'll just have a look at the used and see what the rough drop is there. 475. Okay, so there's not a huge amount between used and new. And then these different networks as well have different price points. I think from memory, AT&T's high, Sprint's low, Verizon's high, and T-Mobile's low, I think. But you know, we could look through those if we found the right deal. So let's start scanning down and see what we can spot that looks like a good deal. Actually, we'll start by sorting by date. That'll make sense. Okay, right. So we've got a gold iPhone 6, 425. Great condition, like new, setting 425. Okay, so what we don't know with this guy is whether or not he has the box and the cables and stuff like that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now and just plug that into here. So he's, did he say what size that was? Doesn't say what size, so we'll assume that it's a 16 gig. Oh, is that a 6 plus? 6. Okay, a gold 6. Posted 20 minutes ago. let's see if this thing that was posted literally 20 minutes ago. Sprint, I think. Well, Sprint. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he says it's brand new, most people seem to keep hold of their boxes. Okay, there's actually no money in that one. Sprint's not worth much. Okay, let's keep on looking down. Let's keep on looking. HTC. Black iPhone 5S, size 5S. Actually, let's get rid of the 5Ss. Remember, the exclude filter is your friend. Let's see. There's normally several per hour listed that are opportunities that can be actioned on straight away. Okay, this one's a bit closer, but still not quite good enough. Again, Sprint. Sprint's not worth much, we just found. Gold iPhone 6, T-Mobile, $190. Practically new, comes with black silicon case, 100. Okay, it says no PayPal, which he might be negotiable on that, but you know that might not be one that you can go for. Like, actually, just as I was closing that, I noticed one thing though. Posted 7 days ago and updated 30 minutes ago. So in other words, he's been trying to sell it for a week. Be a little bit cautious on this one, because, you know, on something like this, because if he hasn't managed to sell it in a week at that sort of price, there's either something not quite right, or, you know, maybe he's just definitely doesn't want to sell by PayPal. So we'll skip over that one. Broken screen, don't want that. Unlocked T-Mobile iPhone 6. So that falls into the unlocked category, 480, 16 gig. Okay, so there's not quite enough. There's not quite enough room in there for me personally. So this one would be a $500 phone. So you could get $20 out of that, but not quite enough. iPhone 6, 16 gig, $400. Okay, so he says there's a couple of minor scratches. It depends on how minor they are. This might still be classed as a new phone. Yeah, so that one could be an opportunity. Oh, I'll expand out the date column so we can see the time as well. So the most recent one we've got is 1:47. As we've been going down, I think we're down to around about here. So we've looked through about 20 minutes of results, and we've found a couple of ones that look promising. Gold iPhone 6, $250, like new. Oh, okay, this, I don't quite get this. The guy's saying that he's selling it, but he's actually complaining that someone stole it. Okay, never mind. Let's keep on scrolling. We're looking for preferably ones, you know, where there's a lot of room in them, and there's normally a ton of them. Verizon iPhone 6, $140, brand new. Yeah, clean and not stolen. you'd want to be a little bit careful with this one and just make sure that it is not stolen. But there we go. So we've got an iPhone 6, $140 Verizon. We'll just check the price on that. 16 gig, brand new Verizon, and the price we've got is $450. So there's a lot of profit in that. You just want to make sure that it's clean. So that's that's all there is to it in this case. Now that's a specific iPhone deal. That took us, well, we've so far we've scrolled down and we've hit 109. So we've looked through half an hour's worth of postings, and we found one that's definitely of interest. Oh no, it's actually at 113. So less than half an hour. And we found some pretty good looking opportunities there that you could jump on straight away and just flip straight to a dealer. Now, not every market has dealers that just operate websites where you can just find them that easily, but almost everywhere has dealers that show up when you use the keyword wanted and just search in the for sale section again. So here is the easiest way of doing it. We'll sort by date and just find new people saying that they want phones. iCloud iPhone 6 Plus wanted, $599. This, buying all carriers, any condition, used and brand new phones, welcome. That's probably the phone number, I think. Doesn't show it. Okay, so that's a dealer who says they're going to pay top dollar. This guy says he'll buy bad ESN, so I think those are stolen phones, I'm not sure. Phones for $260. All of these people are dealers. Almost every single one of these people is a dealer. So that's a really easy way to find them. Now, the best way I think to get started in flipping is to, if you know about a particular subject area, like you know about iPhones, or you know about Ming vases or Rolex watches or cars or something like that, try and find those sort of opportunities first, because that'll, it's a lot easier if you know the subject that you're looking for than if you don't. If you don't feel that you know enough about anything in particular, I'd suggest you just start doing a bit of research and find find out a bit more and learn a bit. And then if you don't have any ideas at all about where to start, here's what I do. I just type in urgent and for sale and just search, and then start sort of scrolling through and looking for what sort of turns up and what sounds interesting, and what could be shipped in a box relatively easily, so that way you can go for, say, all of the US, or all of whatever country you live in, without having to worry about transportation being too expensive or anything else like that. And just start scrolling down. This is the exact process that I use to find out about the iPhones, about the iPhone market, which there's millions and millions of dollars available in each year easily, just by flipping straight to dealers. More if you sold on eBay or manage that process yourself. But if we keep scrolling down, want to look for something. Well, it depends. In my opinion, you're best off trying to find a very liquid market where there are lots of dealers, there's lots of sellers and stuff like that. There's probably bigger profit margins and stuff where it's just one-off things that you could just flip on eBay. But here we go. So this was kind of what led me onto it, was an ad kind of like this. iPhone 5C urgent sell, $100. I thought this sounded really cheap. To me it did anyway, and that's when I found the cashforiphone.com site. Let's have a look and see what an iPhone 5C goes for. We'll just see what they say. Mint iPhone 5C, brand new condition, 8 gig. Okay, so no, they don't actually have an 8 gig one listed on here. They've only got 16. So we'll see what it shows up for that. Doesn't say the carrier, so it's probably unlocked. And let's see. Ah, okay. The price has dropped since the first time I looked. To be completely honest with you, so no, that's no longer a good deal. You can't make money on that one anymore. Never mind. Okay. But you know, I was just having a quick browse through, just looking for looking for things that seemed that seemed to be very cheap for me, and that's how I came across that. You can use the exact same process to find new opportunities all over the place. Let's see. Okay, see, so that sounds possibly cheap, $40 for an external hard drive. I don't know what the market's like on those, so I wouldn't have thought it'd be fantastic. Some of these cars might be good opportunities if that's your thing and if you're in the right area for them. Again, yeah, that's a good point as well. Actually, now that I think about it, you could just use the keyword search for urgent in your state or your city or area, and just keep an eye out for any really good deals that just pop up and just grab them and flip them on eBay. Even if they are a bit bigger and a bit more difficult to transport, you still might be able to make some good money that way. Just trying to if we can spot another big market straight away. Not looking like anything's jumping out in front of me right now. We've got a few big things coming through. The problem is I don't want to spend too much time doing this because you guys will start getting really bored and we'll stop the video so you won't see anything anyway. We might have to give up on this quick search, I think. Yeah, we might need to give up on this. So that's one approach, is to look for urgent. The other way is to just search for the keyword wanted, because and then sort by the title and look for all of the double ups, because the double ups are the dealers posting the same listing again and again and again. So we're still searching, so we can't quite scroll yet. I'll just stop that. We've got heaps of results. We've got 11,000 11,000 results. That should be enough to find what we want. There's people buying phones again, laptops and tablets. Okay, so that's a good point. iPads could be another one to go for. Junk cars, cell phones, bikes, jewelry. Okay, jewelry would be another good thing to go after potentially as well, because it's the type of thing where people might not know the value. So if you do your research and you work out the weight and you know what the carat is for gold, for example, you'll be able to know what the value of a piece of jewelry was, just like it's, if it was melted down. So that's like the minimum value it can possibly be worth before you even buy it, if you do a little bit of research. Scrap metal is a bit too hard. Stuff's too big. Vinyl records. Perfect. Okay, so this could be a very lucrative market. I would imagine, because I'd say there'd be a lot of people clearing out vinyl records that they don't know what they don't know what the value of it is, and they're just kind of selling them cheaply. They might be in a small town where there's just no one looking for that particular record, and it could be worth substantially more than what they're prepared to take for it. And the reason it hasn't sold is simply because no one knows it's there, because no one has this tool. So that's a good opportunity, or a good potential market to investigate. Okay, this guy's a networking equipment dealer, quite specific. If you know about Cisco routers and that sort of jazz, you might be able to do something in that space. Coins, perfect. Cars we went over before. Cash paid on gift cards. I don't know what that's about, but okay. Boats wanted. That's interesting. I don't know. I would have thought it would be a bit hard to trade boats, but okay, that's fine. No. Yeah. Okay, we've barely got through any of this, and we've already found a whole heap of flipping opportunities to investigate. So, you know, what I'd say from here is we'll scroll back up and see what we can spot again. Oh, yeah, we had iPad. Oh, actually, no, we already looked up the phones, so we'll skip over iPad. Gold jewelry. Okay. So, actually, let's look for 24 karat gold. And yeah, actually, we'll just search for that. If you're not familiar with carats, basically 24 karat is 100%, or well, 99.999, I think if memory serves, percent gold. So it's basically pure gold. 18 karat is about 66%, and 8 karat is about 33%. So let's look for something specific, see if it turns up. Let's see, actually we'll change this to something a bit more specific. Jewelry. Okay. So if you do a bit of research into, and you know, if you made some phone calls to some of these people and asked them what the weight of, you know, some of the stuff was, you could actually work out what the value of the gold in the piece of jewelry was, and if you can pick it up for less than that, you can't possibly lose. As long as, you know, make sure it's certified and all of that sort of stuff to protect you as well. But, you know, this is a good flipping opportunity. 24 karat gold crucifix, 1 inch, $500. So yeah, the current price of gold, if this weighs more than half an ounce, then you know you can't possibly lose. As an example, I think that's probably going to cover it off for this video. I think I've yammered on long enough. Basically, to find flipping opportunities, we'll just go over it again really quickly. I suggest you start with an area that you know about and you know a lot about, so that you can identify the good opportunities easily and know whether or not someone's making it up or embellishing the truth a bit in their listing, or if you talk to them on the phone or by email. I suggest you try and focus more on flipping opportunities where where postage isn't really an issue. So smaller items, consumer electronics are great. That's why phones are, you know, really good. You know, they're so easy to send around the place. And then if you actually get into it, you've got two options. You can either go and sell it straight to a dealer, which means you don't really need to hold any stock and you don't need to be out of pocket while you're waiting for someone to buy whatever your item is on eBay or anything like that. But you'll be making slightly less profit because they still have to have room in the transaction for them to make their profit when they sell it on eBay or Amazon or wherever they're selling the item onto. If you don't have the slightest clue where to start or what niche you kind of want to go after, what items you want to buy, and you just don't have a clue, start by searching for the keyword wanted or urgent in the for sale category in Craigslist. Wanted's probably better because then you're finding all of the dealers, which means you won't need to hold anything. But urgent's quite good too, because then you can quite often find things that are a higher value items that people are saying that they need to urgently sell, and then you can do your research on eBay or Craigslist or anywhere else to just find out what the market value is for that particular item. Do your research, be very, very careful, but there is a heap of money to be made, an absolute heap. And again, if you want to go for iPhones, iPhone 6s, iPhone 6 Pluses, etc., go for it. There's a huge market here at the moment. As I said, we looked back, I think it was, 20 minutes or half an hour from the time that we searched from, and we found one that we can almost guarantee was a great deal to go for, and a few other ones that we could make, we could have made, $20 to $50 or something around that. That's only half an hour's time, half an hour's time that we searched backwards. That's you know, that's crazy. Especially considering at the moment the time in the US, because I'm a New Zealander. The time for me is 2:16 p.m. So I think it's actually like 1 in the morning or something over in the US at the moment. So, you know, within the past wee while, in the middle of the night in the US, you know, there's still opportunities appearing just for iPhone 6s specifically. Get the idea? Cool. All right, thanks for watching. I know this has been a long video. Again, as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'm always happy to help. Thanks, guys.